Okay. Hello, everyone. Hello, everyone. Welcome back. I'm Nicodemus Kane. Today is January the 19th, 2022. I have been warning that you got to watch out for the numbers. I'm going to give it one more time. Keep your eyes open. It may not be that something happens, but it definitely means that something will be said. Um, Perhaps on camera somewhere, perhaps, behind the scenes. You never know. That's how these things usually work. I do find it interesting that today is a 9/11 and we are on Psalm 92 today, which in itself is a 9/11. 1 plus 1 is 2, so 92. Inversion of that is 26. It's a 66. They do like their 66s. And a lot of people may think, oh, that's just not how numerology works. It's not, numbers don't mean anything. Well, you may think they don't. But there is a constant amount, and I can't overstress that enough, a constant amount of numerology that flows around your entire life. That when you eventually see it, you will understand that not only is your life ruled by numbers, but those people in charge use these numbers that you see constantly against you. They use them as coded coded symbology against you. We can talk about that later. I don't want to get into all that right now. But that was just something that I looked at the number that we were doing today, and I stopped and I said, yeah, somebody may say something. Somebody like me could look at that and say something. And I know it is an actual thing that I am seeing happening right now before my eyes. So it's just something to look out for. Whether bad or good, I don't know. But I do understand that I am doing Psalm 92 on January the 19th. Give me 1 second here. I am just slightly out of breath and a little hot. I have started working out again. Today was my first day back on it because I am so out of shape and I've put on so much weight over the past year that I have to start being healthy again. So today I was getting back on it. I'm getting back into doing some stuff, just moving around. Um, Taking baby steps. I've got to get myself back to a point to where I can, actually start really moving my body around. And it's not easy for me right now either, because like I said, I'm at the heaviest I've ever been, and I feel miserable, and I am definitely ready for a change. Okay, so this is Psalm 92. This is a psalm or song for the Sabbath day. Oh, okay. I wonder if I should save this for the Sabbath. Okay, Psalm 92. Sorry about that. It is a good thing to give thanks unto the Lord, and to sing praises unto thy name, O Most High, to show forth thy loving kindness in the morning, and thy faithfulness every night. Upon an instrument of 10 strings, and upon the psaltery, upon the harp with a solemn sound. For thou, Lord, hast made me glad through thy work. I will triumph in the works of thy hands. O Lord, how great are thy works! and thy thoughts are very deep. A brutish man knoweth not, neither doth a fool understand this. When the wicked spring as the grass, and when all the workers of iniquity do flourish, it is that they shall be destroyed forever. But thou, Lord, art most high forevermore. For lo, thine enemies, O Lord, for lo, thine enemies shall perish. All the workers of iniquity shall be scattered. But my horn shalt thou exalt like the horn of a unicorn. I shall be anointed with fresh oil. Mine eye also shall see my desire on mine enemies, and mine ears shall hear my desire of the wicked that rise up against me. The righteous shall flourish like the palm tree. He shall grow like a cedar in Lebanon. Those that be planted in the house of the Lord shall flourish in the courts of our God. They shall still bring forth fruit in old age. They shall be fat and flourishing. To show that the Lord is upright, he is my rock, and there is no unrighteousness in him. Amen. And I'm still having problems with my nose. It's the dust down here, man. I have got to do something about the dust down here. I wish I could open some of these windows, but the basement windows in this house were all painted shut, so I can't do that. But I think it comes through the vents. I think we just have so much dust, and our furnace and our blower on the furnace is so old that we can't put new filters on it. Yeah, we can't put HEPA filters on it. We have to have the old metal filters that came with the thing, and I think it just blows dust through the whole house. It's pretty bad, man. We're getting a new furnace in the spring. New furnace, new blower, new air conditioner. We're getting all new stuff in the spring. So we got that going for us because we're getting that first time homeowners tax credit thing. We're definitely getting new stuff in this house. Let's go back through this. There's not much that to really go over, but I do want to go back through it because it is a beautiful psalm. It's a beautiful thing just to read. So let's go back through it again. It is a good thing to give thanks unto the Lord, and to sing praises unto thy name, O Most High, to show forth thy loving kindness in the morning, and thy faithfulness every night, upon an instrument of 10 strings, and upon the psaltery, upon the harp, with a solemn sound. Sing praises unto God. For thou, Lord, hast made me glad through thy work. I will triumph in the works of thy hands. O Lord, how great are thy works, and thy thoughts are very deep. A brutish man knoweth not, neither doth a fool understand this. And when the wicked spring as the grass, when all the workers of iniquity do flourish, it is that they shall be destroyed forever. But thou, Lord, art most high forevermore. And the wicked shall spring, and all the workers of iniquity will flourish, because this world celebrates evil. It goes right along hand with their not being an inherent goodness in people. It goes right along with that. And I have said that I don't know how many countless times. And evil begets evil. And evil champions evil. And it just pushes itself further and further to the top. Until there is nothing left but evil. And there's always that remnant of good that has to come in, take control, and push the evil back out. Again, it's just another one of those things where I say that people don't seem to understand the concept that you're not supposed to just let evil run you over. So you can push it back out. But people are of this mindset now that, you're just supposed to let it happen, that people are inherently good, that, somebody's going to come in and say, I can do this good for you, and, or I can do this better for you, and you don't have to worry, I'll take care of you. In the meantime, they are screwing you over in the background and taking away more and more of the freedoms that you had, telling you to go against what you know, what you love, to the point of telling you that you cannot worship your own gods. God, not gods. I know there was sounded like an S at the end of it. I even stopped and heard it myself, and I was like, no, that's not right. God. But there will be people that'll tell you that they're doing it for your own good, and people believe that. And they're not doing it for your own good. They're doing it to destroy you. These Psalms that we've gone through have shown that over and over again. Is the wicked will do whatever they can to tear you down, to make themselves better. You have to quit trusting in man. You have to start trusting in the Father. You have to do what He asks you to do. And if He asks you to fight for not only your freedom, but your ability to be able to worship Him, you should be listening. But sadly, everybody is still in that mindset of just going along to get along. And that's unfortunately going to be the downfall of a lot of people. Thou, Lord, art most high forevermore. For lo, thine enemies, O Lord, for lo, thine enemies shall perish. All the workers of iniquity shall be scattered. And that will be a beautiful day when that happens. Oh, but you're supposed to pray for them. Yeah, you're supposed to pray for them, sure. But we also see it time and time again where, at the end of days we'll be dancing because the wicked shall be perishing. There will be dancing and great revelry because the wicked shall perish. That's not in the Bible. Yeah, that was in the Bible. We've seen it a couple different times. Actually, it was several Psalms back, probably in the 70s or the 60s, where I saw it the first time and it had two connecting verses. So we went to those verses. One of them was outside of the Psalms. And it was saying that, there would be dancing and great revelry at the end of times whenever everybody gets thrown into the pit of fire. It's like, whoa, wait a minute. Now, I'm not saying I'm going to enjoy it. I'm not going to enjoy anyone, being thrown into a pit of fire to burn for the rest of their life. I'm not going to enjoy that at all, but the Bible says there will be singing and dancing. There will be revelry. So get used to that concept. I'm just saying, get used to that concept. You can pray for them because they are, they are naive. They are blinded by their own ignorance. You can pray for them to come out of that, and that's what I wish for. And I pray that their sentences will be reduced because they don't know any better. I really do. And I don't do it every day anymore. I used to. I need to start getting back onto it. I've been trying to focus on myself more than a lot of other things as I pray. But I used to pray, open their eyes, let them see, because they are blinded. They don't know any better. You got to pray for your enemies just because they don't know any better. They're they're believing in the lie. So it will be a good day when all the workers of iniquity shall be scattered, but it will also be a sad day, at least for me. So take it as you will. You can go one way or the other. The Bible never says you're going to go one specific direction. I'm just saying that, you pray for them and be nice to them and all that kind of stuff, but you'll still see dancing and singing at the end. That sounds harsh, but it's in the book. It's in the book, man. Doesn't mean it's going to be us. It just said it's in the book. Verse 10, but my horn shalt thou exalt like the horn of an unicorn. And that's probably not the horse. That is, of course, the rhinoceros, the one-horned rhinoceros, because we said even oh, sorry about that. Even the first edition Webster's Dictionary that came out in the 1800s, they said it was a beast, gigantic beast similar to a rhinoceros. Said nothing about a horse with a horn. So that's a unicorn. So what was this? There's two verses that this links to, but again, we can't trust these to be perfect all the time. But Psalm 89:17, for thou art the glory of thy strength, and in thy favor our horn shall be exalted. Which we saw something a couple verses back about that too. About horns being exalted. And Psalm, where are we at? 23:5. Thou preparest a table before me in the presence of mine enemies. Thou anointed my head with oil. My cup runneth over. Which you guys could have picked a better psalm than that to talk about exalting of horns. See, again, I don't know where they pull these. I don't know where they pull these from. That's why I don't look at all of them. Because you just never know. But my horn shalt thou exalt like the horn of a unicorn. Again, don't think about horses. Think about rhinoceroses. I shall be anointed with fresh oil. Mine eye also shall see my desire on mine enemies, and mine ears shall hear my desire of the wicked that rise up against me. Mine eyes also shall see my desire on mine enemies, and my ears shall hear my desire of the wicked that rise against me. There it is. You're there is a time for love and a time for hate. There's a time for war and a time for peace. And when they do the worst possible things to you, it is only naturally human to want to have something done back to them. The law itself says an eye for an eye. But a lot of these psalms have shown that these people are so despicable, and they live in a captivity and in a system of law where these wicked people are getting away with it because that's the law of their land, and they're getting away with this, and it just keeps happening over and over and over again. So there's no justice there. There's no retribution there. There's no, you know, what do you want to call it? Punishment? Um, but mine eyes also shall see my desire on mine enemies. And again, my desire right now is just that they open their eyes, they wake up. You know, but there are some people that you there are some people that are at the top that are just doing their darndest to show you they're the most evil people in the world. And you just want them to have their comeuppance, you know? Yeah, I'm not going to say that they need to be dragged down into the street and, hanged from nearest light post or anything. I'm definitely not going to say that. But my desire is definitely to see them fall. Definitely to see them lose whatever power it is, whatever money it is, whatever it was that they hold on to dear, to have them lose it in the way that they've made other people lose what they had. Again, I don't wish death upon anybody. I wish there to be some kind of a justice to it. You know, if you're gonna if you're gonna force people to take an injection that kills them, lie to them, deceive them, make them lie to their children, all because you think that you're better than them to the point that you're willing to wipe out their entire. These people were willing to wipe out entire races of people. But if you're that willing to do that, then maybe you deserve your punishment. You deserve what's coming to you. I I, I can only pray that they open their eyes. If they don't want to open their eyes, if they want to continue being the worst possible human beings in the world, that's not on me anymore. That's going to be on them, and they are going to suffer. And all I can do is just sit back and say, whatever. That sounds terrible, but dancing and singing, just saying. Just say it. It's you're going to be able to see justice come at the end of it. People are going to get what they deserve. And because we've been taught, so many people have been taught to love their brother, find the inherent good in people, don't pray evil upon anybody. This is what everybody's been taught. That they don't see that there's going to be a reckoning at the end of this, and that we're going to be joyful about it. It's going to be a pretty good thing. Again, I'm not that way. I'm not that way. Maybe not right now. I don't know. Maybe somewhere down the line, but I'm just the more we read these, the more we uncover this stuff. And this is stuff that tends to be skimmed over. Nobody likes to hear that you're going to be dancing on the graves of your enemies whenever you're constantly told that you're supposed to be praying for your enemies. It's either one way or another. And I think it could absolutely be both. I absolutely 100% think it could be both. You can pray for your enemies, but there's going to be a point where God's going to strike them down. God's going to strike down all the workers of iniquity. Just throwing that out there. Just where are we? Verse 12. The righteous shall flourish like the palm tree. He shall grow like a cedar in Lebanon. And boy, howdy, those cedars in Lebanon, they get pretty big. Those that be planted in the house of the Lord shall flourish in the courts of our God. They shall still bring forth fruit in old age. They shall be fat and flourishing. And of course, because I said that I was working out, the first thing I saw was fat and flourishing. I'm like, this isn't, I'm not really flourishing. I feel terrible. But, this is, it is what it is. To show that the Lord is upright, he is my rock, and there is no unrighteousness in him. Amen. Okay. Here's some dead air. Feel free to talk amongst yourselves. You ever had it to where it's only like one nostril in your nose, and you're just like, isn't everything inside of your nose? Doesn't it come from the same pipes? So why is it that I have my one side of my nose is constantly running more than the other? Why? What is that all about? The things that I think of. I know. Uh, Man, I don't have much to say today, other than it's like I said, I started working out again because I feel like crap. Um, what was I saying at the beginning of the video? I don't even remember now. We were talking about something. I said I'd come back to it, but I can't remember what it was. I don't know. I didn't really pay attention to any of the news or anything yesterday because I'm trying to focus on my own mental health right now. I've talked about this before. Is that you can only take so much before it starts driving you crazy, and you got to step back. And I have been stepping back, focusing on just doing work, trying to stay focused on work, even though I'm just falling asleep at the computer. Another reason why I'm working out because it seems like I'm able to stay awake more whenever I get moving around and do some exercise. So I'm trying to work on that because I have just been so tired, so miserably tired. Just it's been catching up to me. It really has been. So we're working on fixing that. Hopefully we can fix that. But really, they're just it's like it's like a calm before the storm. It's like you can feel something coming, but you don't know what it is. And of course, like I said today, it's 119. Oh, I did hear about people are wanting to do a protest in Washington, D.C. on January 23rd. You want to go up there on a 123. And it's not a number that you see constantly, but it's a number that you see. And it's like, it's just more nonsense, Just sounds like more garbage to me. 19, 20, 21. That's Friday, 22, 23. That's on a Sunday? Is that right? You guys are going to go up there on a Sunday? That's what it is. 123 is on a Sunday. Really? That's usually how I know that these things are just garbage. you know, I mean, you're gonna go up on a Sunday when nobody's going to be in the buildings that you're protesting. So I personally have said, and I think that people have been so whipped over the past 2 years into believing that any protest that happens inside of the United States will be taken over and deflected by, you know, Antifa or BLM or something that nobody wants to try. And this whole thing about protesting on weekends, nobody cares. Nobody cares if you protest on a weekend. They don't. You know why they don't care? Because nobody's watching the news. Nobody's watching the news. Nobody's caring about what you're doing. There's nobody at work. They're all off having fun, doing whatever it is that they do. They don't care about that. If you're going to go make noise, go in, hit them on a Monday. I mean, you can't do it on a Sunday. What are you people thinking? What? But then again, that's how you know that it's just garbage. It's just more garbage. You people aren't protesting anything. You're going out there and you're making a noise, but you're not. I've already said though that protests don't mean anything anymore. Anyway, you can scream until your face is blue. There ain't nobody listening. Nobody cares. If protest mattered, the world would be changed. The world's not changing. It's getting worse. Just saying, the world's getting worse. Just because you see different countries, are like, stopping their mandates or whatever because everybody decided to go out and protest. Yeah, it's like the whole city decided all at once they wanted to go out and protest. And they didn't just do that. These people fought. These people fought, and they're willing to be arrested and to die for their rights. These people did it. The best protests I've seen have been was it Italy? When they started talking about the mandates for the shots, when they first started coming out, when they started talking about the green pass and all the other crap like that, when they got a hold of a manure truck and they went down to their government offices and they had something, I don't know what it was, put it on a hose and they blew shit into the top windows of their government office. That's good stuff, man. I'm sorry, but that's good stuff right there. That's how you do it. That's how you protest, man. You can't just go out there with signs and have cute little slogans and nobody cares. Tyrants don't care about your stupid protests. You can quote me on that. They don't care. You're going to have to start getting in their face. I'm not saying that you have to go down there with guns and clubs or anything like that and start killing people. I'm just saying that if you're going down there with signs and, songs and kumbaya and all this stuff, and if you're getting all these people to supposedly make these hour-long speeches that don't matter, it ain't gonna matter. Nobody cares. Nobody cares. So what are you gonna do? You're just gonna go down and protest. There's gonna be another thing. Nobody's gonna care. Nobody's gonna matter. Unless they decide again that they are going to make it look like you were staging a coup upon the world or upon the capital. Jesus God. The worst day since Pearl Harbor and 9/11. What? Come on, man. Last time I checked, 3,000 people didn't die January the 6th. Shut up. Oh my God. That's how they're insulting your intelligence now, because they know the American people are so stupid that they're gonna believe it. They'll just eat it up. They don't care anymore. They're just like people are so dumb that they'll just believe whatever we say. So let's just say it. So now they're saying what a lot of people are saying are calling it now is they're saying the quiet parts out loud. They're saying the stuff that should be the stuff that they keep to themselves behind their backs. They're just saying it out loud because people are so stupid that they just don't see it. That they'll just believe whatever the heck they want to believe. And that's mind control. You've been mind controlled. You've been manipulated past that point that they know they can tell you whatever the heck they want to tell you, and you'll just believe it. You'll eat it up like a little puppy because you've been controlled all your life, every single second of your life, and you're still being controlled. And if you don't think you're being controlled, then I'm sorry, but you're lying to yourself. It's been like this forever. Before you were born, your grandfathers, their maybe their grandfathers, I don't know. It's hard once you get into the 1850s. It gets a little hard to figure out. But at least for 5 generations, if they've been part of the schooling system that we adopted, then they've been lied to. You've been lied to. It's just all lies. So what are you gonna do about it? You just gonna take it, or are you gonna do some research? You're gonna get in there and figure out, and then you're gonna attack the real problem. You're gonna attack the real people, and attacking the real people means that you have to start at the very top and then filter down. What are you gonna do? I can't tell you. I'm not a strategist. I don't. I'm not a leader of men. I'm not going to be able to tell you where to go. The best way to do this. I'm not that guy. But I can tell you this much right now: you ain't doing nothing. You people out there that are constantly saying, "Oh, we can change this." The people that are out there saying, "Oh, we can change this by voting," you so hilarious. You give me a laugh every day. People that are out there saying, "Oh, we can change this by protesting," that sooner or later they'll listen to our voices. Oh yeah, sooner or later, I'll I'll keep waiting. I'll stand over here in the corner and I'll wait for that to happen. It's not going to come until you take it back. And you don't have to take it back by force, you just have to be smarter than they are. I'm just saying, you don't have to take it back by force. You don't have to hurt or kill or maim anyone in order to take it. You know who's hurting and killing people in order to take power? They are. Right now, they're hurting and killing and maiming people in order to take power for themselves. What are we doing? Protesting. I don't like the way that the government operates, so I'm going to be bitchy about it. And what's worse is we've let our children grow up in this society where they just are weak. That they want to. Okay, what was it? I cannot remember who. I can't remember his name now. It's a YouTube guy that I watch. He was actually he used to do comic book stuff. Talk about comic books and pop culture. But somewhere along the line, he started speaking the truth. And he's become really, really big over the past 2 years because he started speaking the truth. So he was showing a poll, several polls actually. I guess they were blind call polls of what people thought about mandates and injections. And a couple of them were like, do you strongly agree? Do you strongly disagree? Whatever. With the government making legislation that says that people have to be fined if they don't get their injections. Another one was, do you strongly agree, disagree that everyone should have to have a digital passport in order to show that they've had their injections? Or another one was, Do you strongly agree, disagree that people should be? Oh, what was it? Well, I know there was one that was it was should be forced to get their shots or something. Just the whole gambit of what we've been talking about. Whether people should have passports to be able to go, whether people should be locked out of going to certain places, whether people should be fined, or taxed if they don't get it, and then it was should people should it be compulsory? Pretty much. There was a couple other ones too. I don't remember what they were, and it was it was showing the percentages of people that strongly agreed and strongly disagreed. And the majority of people, I mean, it was still a good, 48 to 58% strongly disagreed with all of them. So there's a decent amount of people that are still there that, understand the concept of this is a bad thing that people are trying to do. But the one people, which leads back to what I was saying about us failing our children, the one group of people, set amount of people that was the lowest on the disagreeing. It's not like they were all agreeing that we should do it, but the lowest percentage of the people disagreeing with everybody or with what was going on were the 18 to 20s, 25 I think it was. They had the lowest number inside of there of disagreeing. Well, yeah, within the age ranges, they had the lowest number of you know the lowest number of strongly disagree to have all the bad stuff happen. Let's put it that way, which meant that they were agreeing that people should have you know passports, digital IDs, and all this other crap, mandatory whatevers. And that shows that we are failing trying to teach our kids the right things to do. And that comes from school systems. That comes again, this comes all the way back around to you need to start protesting from the top down. Um, I said it whenever all of the Black Lives Matter stuff happened, that you shouldn't be out here burning down businesses and burning down houses and coming into the white suburbs because these people have no power. You have no power out here in the white suburbs. We really don't. All you can do is scare us and manipulate us into listening to what you're saying. Sorry about that. All you can do is, scare these people into listening what you're saying, but all you're going to do is you're going to piss off the rest of them where you didn't protest, and they're going to hate you that much more. That whole thing where they went out and they were burning stuff down. The whole 2 years, all you did was make your case worse. You didn't make your case any better. Of course, that was all that was all funded to turn us against each other, and it will happen again in 2 years. Every 4 years, you will see that happen, probably for the rest of our lives. Um, but I was saying then, I said the first thing you need to do is that you need to quit going out and scaring these people in the suburbs and burning these buildings down and all this other kind of stuff. You need to start at the top. If you don't want to start at the very, very tippy top, then you need to go to the government inside of your own city and start telling them that you want to change the school system. And I'm not talking about bringing critical race theory in or any of that kind of stuff. These are fully black schools that need to have black teachers teaching their children about their own culture. If you want to change your life, if you want to change the way it is, you need to pull yourself out of the culture that you think that you're stuck in and start teaching them about your own culture. Start teaching that we can be different, that we're not supposed to all melt together, because that's one of the things that's killing us, is that we're all trying to melt together, to be a melting pot. We're all trying to learn what each other's strengths and weaknesses are. That hasn't helped anybody. We've found that out over the past 100 years when they really started pushing everybody into this country, that it doesn't work. It doesn't work. There's a separation that's supposed to happen. Oh, he's such a racist. Oh, he's a nationalist. Watch out. No, I'm not. I'm actually following the Bible. God, whenever he tore down the Tower of Babel, he separated the people for a reason. He said everybody goes to their own different places. They have their own different languages, and you're not supposed to come back together, because when everybody comes back together, then that's whenever stuff starts going downhill again. And sure enough, here we are. Because when everybody was together, the last time there was a worldwide, what do you want to call it? When everybody was together in this one worldwide culture, the first thing they decided to do was build a great tower to go kill God. That a third of them said they were going to go become God, a third of them said that they were going to go kill God, and a third of them said that they were going to go, I can't remember what the heck it was, put their own gods in his place. That's what it said. Not the Bible. I think this was Jasher, is what it was. But still, last time everybody got together and God looked down and he said, there is nothing that they cannot imagine at this point. He might have said that pre-flood too. I don't know what it was. But that was whenever he stopped and said, okay, look, people can't be together. Before that, pre-flood, everybody was together. It was all one world. And they destroyed it. They just straight up, they started making these weird hybrid creatures. And, there was, of course, the giants that were there too. That was becoming a problem. And there was nothing but evil in men's hearts continually. Because there's something about the cultures mixing. I don't know what it is. Seriously though, I'm not advocating for being, full on straight up nationalist. What I am saying is that there is proof that cultures, that countries thrive when they're separated. This world has thrived for a long time until everybody decided, hey, we're going to go ahead and mix everything up. And I'm not just talking about America, I'm talking about other countries too. Cultures and countries thrive when they're separated. You can have people come in and check out a culture and be a tourist and all that kind of stuff, but you don't get to live there. You know? You don't get to live there. You don't get to come inside of a country. You don't get to bring a million of your friends into another country and then, start nesting. You can come visit, but don't stay. So that's the way I think it used to be for a while. I think it really used to be like there's some countries in the world that are still like that. And you know what? Those countries are doing pretty damn good right now. I'm just saying. So I am not advocating that at all. I'm just going over what history has taught us. And history has taught us that people tend to do better. Yes, you can follow other cultures and listen to other cultures. Sure. Why don't you go find a place where, all these people can mix up and go crazy and all that stuff. Don't do it in my backyard. Don't bring that stuff around me if I don't want it. I've said this before as well, that if everybody on a street, everybody in a neighborhood decides that they want to be a specific way, that they want to have, they want to build a better. Let's try it this way. Let's say, no, I'll just use the neighborhood analogy. If everybody on the neighborhood says that they want to, be a specific way, do a specific thing, that's fine. Hold on. I almost sneezed right in your ears, guys. Feel lucky. Man. But if everybody in that neighborhood wants to have their neighborhood be a certain way, man, I got another one coming too. Okay, holy smokes, man. They want to have their neighborhood be a certain way, have a certain kind of people inside of their neighborhood. They should have the right to be able to do that and live that way. And if somebody comes in and starts throwing trash out in the yard and being a jerk and playing their music too loud and whatever else, yada, 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 that neighborhood has the right to be able to ask those people to stop or leave. Same should be with countries. If you if you want to come in and learn the culture, be part of the system, come in, be part of the system. You know? But if you can't, go find somewhere else. There's plenty of places. Actually, not so much anymore. But there's there's going to be a place somewhere where you're welcome. The problem being, and here's the kicker, because somebody can say, "Oh, well, some people just can't do it because." Okay, the problem being right now, the way that it's being handled right now, is that we have forced um, migration through wars that have been started with false flags. We have forced integration because people think that you can become a better society by having knowledge of other cultures, even though every time you learn more about somebody else's culture than you learn about your own culture, you lose your own culture. But you have this forced integration, you have um, this forced migration. That's not natural. It's not natural, as these people have been taken from their original places and moved to other places because the people at the top say that that's what needs to happen. And that doesn't help anybody. It's definitely not helping the people that are where they're bringing these people into. It doesn't help the people that are being moved because they're losing their culture in order to move to another place. And like I said, what's happening is these people are being moved to another place, bringing their culture, bringing their problems, bringing their world into this new place. And some of these people they already have a problem with being moved in the first place, and they're lashing out at the people of the host nation. We're seeing this time and time again. People don't like talking about it. It's not on the news. But places like Iceland, Sweden, um, Europe, you hear me? The UK, London, the big cities where these people are settling, you're finding that crime rates, rape rates are skyrocketing. And I'm not going to blame the guys that are coming in. I'm saying that since we started doing that, these things are happening. And it's just like it's happening in America too. Some of these people don't, their cultures, the places where they came from, where they had to rob, steal, and kill to be able to make their way in the world, you somehow think that you're going to bring them into a country that's, fruitful and multiplying. You think that they're not going to just immediately drop that, No, they're going to bring that with them. This is, oh, he's such a racist. Oh, God. Nicodemus Kane is the worst. He's the worst person. He's literally Hitler. No, I'm just trying to tell you the truth. I absolutely think that, if somebody wants to come into the culture and learn to adapt and be a part of the system, I have no problem with that. What I have a problem with is the people at the top that say that we have to be forced to adapt to somebody else's culture because it will make us all better when it won't. It's just another lie. That's what I'm saying. It's just another lie. It's not going to help me at all to learn somebody else's culture. I barely even know my own. I've barely even been taught my own culture, and what I have been taught is a lie within itself. So what am I supposed to do? I'm not going to go learn somebody else's just for the sake of saying that I learned somebody else's. I can go like what they do. I can go like what everybody else does. I can go like their music. I can go like their art. I can do that. But that doesn't mean that you have to force me to adapt to them. That doesn't mean you have to force me to do it. That's what's happening. Again, that's what's happening in the world is that a lot of people are being forced to put up with it. And sooner or later you're going to find out that some of these cultures that you're being forced to adapt to, you're not going to like. I know, people don't like hearing that kind of stuff either. But sooner or later, you're going to find out that one of these cultures that you're being forced to not be able to speak out against, you're not going to like. One of their rules that they have, one of their laws that they have, is going to come up. And I mean, there's some you don't understand. There's some cultures out there that they absolutely believe that they are allowed to kill you if you do something against them that they think, and they don't do a trial by jury. They'll just straight take you out in the middle of the street and just kill you there. They don't. They are eye for an eye right then, right there. That's what they are. Okay. I'm just saying is all. I I am. You start getting onto this kind of stuff, and again, that is a slippery slope where people can very easily look at you and say, "Oh, you're the worst person in the world because you think yada yada yada." And you know what? I do think it. I do think it because I see it. And if you don't see it, then I'm sorry you don't see it. It just is what it is, you know? But I have however many years of history behind me to prove that I'm right. That it just doesn't work. I don't know. I'm not looking for some kind of Aryan, you know, some blonde haired, blue eyed, perfect utopia. I'm not looking for that. I'm definitely not looking for that. What I'm looking for is, for starters, not being told that I'm a bad person just because of the color of my skin. And secondly, I'm looking for a place where I can find the people that I want to live with that are going to be good people. Whatever color they're going to be. As long as they're going to be cool and I can live with them, that's fine. I can tell you what, right now, I live in a completely white neighborhood, and some of the people out here are just jerks. You know, I don't want to. I don't want to live next to jerks. Most of the worst people that I've ever met in my life have been white. So don't give me that. Oh, he's a racist nonsense. Do I want to live next to black people? Well, you know, we've done that before too. Those people were just fine. They kept to themselves. They kept to themselves too much. We never got to talk to them. But then again, they were scared. They were scared shitless of the neighborhood we were living in too, because you know they were they had their house broken into by a bunch of black teenagers that would roam down the streets. So you know, I can understand why they would want to, you know, be wary of everybody around them. It just depends on who the person is. I think that's the takeaway from all this. It just depends on who the person is. If anybody has managed to make it past this point without, you know, completely and totally falling off because you think I'm the worst racist in the world, if you've made it past this point, I think the biggest takeaway is that it depends on the type of person that you're talking about. And when you bring in massive tons of people from other countries without vetting any of them, you're going to get the whack jobs, and you're going to get the psychos, you're going to get the drug dealers, you're going to get the, you know, you're going to get the murderers, you're going to get the thieves. And then when you do all that, you can't bitch and moan whenever one of them hurts you or steals from you or kills you or whatever. That's the way it is. But again, that can all be stopped by starting at the top and changing it from the top down. Teaching people how to live better lives. Teaching people to have morals. To have an understanding that you shouldn't, you know, first of all, you shouldn't lie. Second of all, you shouldn't kill people just because you can kill people. You shouldn't steal because there's plenty for everybody. There is absolutely plenty for everybody. That's where you have to start breaking down the institutions at the top. Corporations, the greed that's at the top. But then the greed can be handled if you just teach people better. But that gets into the elite psychopaths at the top have been teaching their children for however many generations now that it's okay to screw over all the people at the top or at the bottom. Screw over all the people at the bottom because they're different than you are. They're lower than you are. They're not. We're not the same. That's what they teach their kids. I don't know how you guys can miss that. It's what they teach their children. They teach their children that they are better than we are. That's the problem. That's why they don't have hearts. That's why they don't have empathy towards us. It's because we are subhuman to them. If somebody thinks you're subhuman, they're going to treat you like you're subhuman. And again, you may think, oh, well, that's not the way, people work. Surely there's got to be good in somebody that they're going to be able to see that killing another person. There is no inherent good in anyone. That can easily be taught out of somebody. It's Bible says you have to raise your children right from the very beginning. From the very first day they were born, you have to teach them and bring them up in the right ways so that they know how to live. Spare the rod, you spoil the child. Do not let them move out of what you teach them. Keep them in that constantly. Don't let anybody else tell you to tell them. The entire concept of sending your children to school, that's satanic within itself. Raise your own children. That's the way it's supposed to be. It's this world. It's the whole world. The whole world is the whole world has changed and screwed up, and everything is just not right. And I don't know how to make it better other than praying and not protesting. So, anyways, we covered a lot of topics. A lot of people don't want to hear, and a lot of topics probably get me in trouble. This video probably will not last that long on YouTube. I don't know. Maybe it will, maybe it won't. You never know. This video may lose me some subscribers. Hey, whatever. It is what it is. Again, I'm not advocating for violence in the streets. I'm not advocating for killing anyone, doing anything, doing all this stuff. What I'm saying is that we have been told to be wary of other men. We are definitely told that at one point in time we were separated for a reason. We are definitely told at the end of days, nation shall rise against nation. Now that doesn't mean countries shall fight against countries. The word that they use, the German word that they use, or German, you hear me? Greek word, holy crap. The Greek word there is ethnos. That's nationality. That's race. Race shall rise against race. That's what it says at the end of time. So you have to understand what's coming. And you have to understand why I say if you want to keep this and maybe start changing things, maybe you should start looking at what's going on. But if things aren't supposed to be changed, then things aren't supposed to be changed. And all I can say then is get yourself ready. Get yourself ready. Sooner or later, you're going to find a point that you are going to have to ask God what you're supposed to do. When we are supposed to run, I was just thinking about that earlier. I don't know why. I was thinking about it in the shower. It's about what the time will be when we are supposed to just drop everything and run for the hills. Because that's what the Bible says too. Is when you see the abomination of desolation come into the temple, you're supposed to run to the hills, not caring about the clothes on your back, not caring about anything else that you take. Just you're supposed to run, and that God will provide for you. and that if you survive what's coming, you will be accounted among the saints. I just read the book. It's in there. It's in there. Anyways, I've done enough burying myself for one day. I will talk to you guys later. I'm going to work. So you all take care. God bless. Don't 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 even remotely think that I am that kind of person that just sat there and told you that we should all be. No. What I said was history has shown that cultures that separate themselves do better. Just saying. Just saying. There's a whole other thing that I have that goes along with it, and it's just when you put it out there like that, it sounds terrible, and I understand that. I'm right there with you. It sounds terrible because I was brought up into this culture too, where it's like if you say anything like that, oh God, you're a Nazi, and I think that's part of the problem is that we can't talk about it. We should be able to talk about this. We should be able to at least talk about it. It doesn't mean that we have to, do it, but it's the truth. Some people can get along with other people. Hey, that's great. That's wonderful. But I'm talking about the broader culture crashes. The ones where people just the one culture, like I said, a couple 100,000 people come in and they don't want to change their ways. They come into a society of people that's their culture, that's their way, and these people that don't want to change and they come in and they start doing all this stuff. And if there's some bad people that are mixed up in there that nobody bothered to vet who the hell's coming in, and then amazingly, the government, the people at the top say, hey, we're going to bring even more people in, and then while we're at it, we're going to go ahead and give you, we're going to give you money to stay here. That's a problem. I ain't just talking about America either. I'm not just talking about America and Mexico. There's other places where this has happened. Yes, this has happened in Europe, where they are bringing people in from the Middle East, from Africa, from all these other places, and they're coming in and they're letting these people have whatever they want, and they're just handing these people money to stay in their countries. I've heard that Germany has just become like a cesspool. Italy and France has just become an absolute cesspool, and it's because of immigration. And again, that gets changed at the top. That gets changed at the top by by giving people better morals, by stopping telling them they are nothing. Stop telling people that they are nothing. You do not live on some insignificant speck of a planet out in the middle of nowhere that's floating around some insignificant sun that happens to be like the bottom tier of suns that are floating around in the universe. You are not like that. You are not nothing. You are something. The earth is smaller than you think. God is right there above you. He wants to know you. He wants to have a relationship with you. He wants you to be better than this place. Stop selling yourself out to the demons of this world. Stop letting Satan win. That's a problem. Stop telling people that they're worthless. Start teaching people that they're better than this. That's how you change it. That's how you change it. Maybe once we do that, maybe once you can get all those people together and get their morals straight and get their values straight, maybe then God will say, "Hey, now you can all live together because you finally got it all figured out." All right. I've talked way too much. I've buried myself way too much. Um, take care of yourselves. Oh boy, howdy. Um, yeah, I definitely probably alienated myself on this one. You guys take care of yourselves. I will talk to you later.